Welcome to QCC's Face the Region. Face the Region is produced by Quinsigamond Community College to assist our region in attaining educational, economic, and personal prosperity.
Good afternoon once again, and welcome to QCC's Face the Region here on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN. I'm Zip Zipfel, and this afternoon we'll be chatting with Betty Lauer, who is the Program Coordinator of the Computer Systems Engineering Technology and Computer Information Systems here at QCC, as well as a professor. And you've been here quite a few years, correct?
Yes, I have. I've been here for 17 years.
17 years teaching the same things?
Well, we started out 17 years ago with a computer systems engineering technology program that wasn't huge or great, and today I think that it's great. We have lots of students enrolled. We have lots of great curriculum with several different degrees and incredible lab facilities. Good curriculum and lab facilities leads to good jobs for these students.
Now, computer information systems, that's a pretty broad umbrella. What sits underneath that umbrella, if you will?
Well, really, if you look at any business and their computer department, there's probably 3 or 4 different areas of computer careers within that department. One of them is computer information systems, and those are the people who write programs to meet your company's needs, all the custom programming, application programs. Then there's also the group that kind of manages the computer network infrastructure, the network, the internet connections, the workstations, the servers, that types of things.
Is that the IT guy?
Yes, that's the IT guy.
All right.
So it's the difference between the IS, which is programming, and the IT guy, which is kind of infrastructure.
Right.
And then there might be some telecommunications built in. Sometimes that's in the IT department as well. And then there's often kind of maybe a graphical department that manages the content of web, the media, what it looks like on the web, their presence, the graphical view of that.
Right. Well, would that be, web design or?
Well, it is web design, but it also has a fine arts portion to it where, there are people that do a lot of research and studying about what a website should look like and how long you'll look at it if, the circumstances are right, and when you'll select buttons, how long you'll wait, and those types of things. So the look and feel of digital media is really important today, and of course, so that's a important career area these days.
Everybody is fighting for everyone's eyeballs. Every second counts, I guess. Now, you also are robotics involved also in your program?
I am. One of the things that I did, 17 years ago when I first came, I was interested in STEM outreach programming to the local public schools.
Explain STEM for those uninitiated. That acronym is?
Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math.
Okay.
I was interested in the local public schools and what programs they had to offer. And at that time, we started up a few programs. Robotics was one of them. Women in Technology and After School program was one. Some summer camps and like the Engineering Challenge was another. So these are programs that are run out of QCC with the help of the Worcester Public Schools, and lots of teachers in the Worcester Public Schools. And their students participate in these programs. And, we hope that we get them interested in an early age, and they participate throughout from elementary school all the way through high school, and then, think about those types of careers when they leave for college. And obviously, we think that QCC is a good option for many of those students.
Right, so you're able to kind of get them at an early age and get them in the right direction.
Right. And the interesting part of robotics, and it's why it has stuck so well in the Worcester Public Schools, is that on a per student basis, it's a fairly inexpensive program to run. hundreds and often even thousands of students in the Worcester Public Schools participate in after-school robotics programming throughout the year. We just finished up our elementary school tournament just in the last couple of days ago. But from elementary through high school, students participate in this after-school programming. And the beauty of the program is that it's not like it just teaches you robotics. It teaches you lots of different STEM disciplines. It teaches you structural engineering. It teaches you a little bit of electronics. It teaches you some programming. So there's lots of different areas technically that we stick together that's required to build a robot. So students get exposed to those. And then we add in, like teamwork and the ability to write and the ability to speak to other people. And, those soft skills put together really make that program as a whole. And what we find is that students tend to enter that program, see lots of different career possibilities for them, see lots of different technical topics that they need to learn, and they kind of gravitate to one. And so, maybe they really like programming, and maybe that will lead them down to some career path that is fun and successful for them.
That's great. Now, in your 17-year history, and especially the last couple of decades, and one of the previous shows we had almost a dozen kids in, some of them graduating from the computer science classes. And I couldn't believe the level at which these guys are operating, and women, as far as their knowledge of that. I guess my question is this new generation of kids that are kind of being weaned on cell phones and tablets, and it's computers are such a giant part of our life. Are they more attuned to that right out of the womb?
Oh, I think that they are. They're just exposed to it, and it's a major part of their daily lives at a very young age, and as a result, they're just more comfortable with it. I mean, if you think about all of the computer-related interactions that you have in a single day today versus when you were, 5 or 10 or 15, that's really changed a lot. I mean, computer technology is in so many things that we buy, so many things around the house, so many things at school, so many things, in your business interactions, even if they're consumer business interactions. And so these students are used to that, and they're just, they understand it just intuitively, and it's easy for them to grasp and move on. That's
what I noticed with these kids in that other class. The other thing you mentioned just a minute ago, and I was glad to hear it, is that they also don't miss out on the education of being able to communicate in a face-to-face manner too. The spoken word, that's a critical part of success in any business.
Oh, absolutely. Communication, verbal and in writing, is very important in all of the technical fields. And that's something that here at QCC we push for. It's something in all of our STEM outreach programming that we push for. We really want our students to be able to do that. It gives them a leg up over other students who aren't able to do that.
Excellent. We're chatting with Betty Lauer, who is and this is a long title, Program Coordinator of the Computer Systems Engineering Technology and Computer Information Systems. And when we come back, we'll find out more about some of the fine programs here at QCC and some of the great opportunities for potential students to see when they come here to Quinsigamond Community College. As Face the Region continues on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN. Welcome back to Face the Region here on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN, QCC's weekly program, talking about all the various curriculums and opportunities for students and faculty alike here on the QCC campus. We're chatting with Betty Lauer, who is the program coordinator of the Computer Systems Engineering Technology and Computer Information Systems. And in that first segment, we touched on a lot of different career opportunities. I mean, if there was a field to be involved in, this is it, I would imagine, for job opportunity.
Well, computer careers are always they're always on the top 10 or top 5 list of great careers to have. They're, they're frequently, they're high in demand, and they pay very well. They pay 2 or 3 times the national average of careers, and those are great careers to have.
And what do you need a basic level of skills to be able to start learning the computer stuff? As long as you can communicate, or is there a math requirement, or some of the more stringent courses require some kind of base level education?
Well, they do usually. We have a variety of programs here at QCC. We have some that are just maybe a semester long, that are maybe a total of 5 classes that prepare you to get a job in a help desk environment. In a help desk environment, we're probably all familiar with what that is. They're the people who are the first line of defense when you have a problem. You call your help desk, and they try to help you with your computer problem or your application problem over the phone. And so we have a 1 semester help desk certificate, and that kind of leads into a 2 semester personal computer specialist certificate, and that's a little step up where you learn a lot about managing desktop computers. Everything from the different operating systems that you can have on them, to the different common applications you have, to repairing the physical hardware, upgrading them, all of those types of things. So that's a really popular certificate too. And so then if you go another year, you can get a 2-year degree, like our Computer Systems Engineering Technology, the Enterprise IT option, for example. And when you move into a 2-year degree, most 2-year degrees in the computer area require some critical thinking skills, and so it does include some math. This last year, we developed 2 new degree programs here at QCC that are going to be very popular. They're already popular. They really start in the fall for the first time. And one of them is something called computer support. And the computer support degree really focused on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, their computer support specialist career area. And, that career, it pays like an average of, $50-some thousand a year on average. And it is all about services, providing services. And that means help desk services, desktop services, versus, a more advanced degree like the CSET IT Enterprise, which really involves designing networks. So here you are, the computer support degree has you offering services and providing services, versus the enterprise IT, which is more about designing, using your critical thinking skills to take what you know and to apply them in all of these unique different situations. So a second new degree that we started offering as well is the cybersecurity 2-year degree. And the cybersecurity 2-year degree uses the federal government's NICE, it's N-I-C-E.
There you go with the acronyms.
Yes, curriculum, which is what the federal government and industry partners think that professionals need for cybersecurity skills. And so we aligned our curriculum with them. We have hopes in the next year or so to get to be accredited with the federal government. That will really be a big perk for our students if our program's accredited. But those are wonderful careers too. The difference between like the computer support degree and the cybersecurity degree is that, cybersecurity, it requires some critical thinking, so some math. It requires a lot of problem solving, a lot of design and analysis type work. Computer support pays about $50-some thousand a year, per the Department of Labor. Cybersecurity pays more like maybe $100,000 on average. So 2 very different skill sets, but both in the area of computers, and both very interesting. And we find that students come in and have, some specific interest that they kind of gravitate to. We offer a lot of different computer courses and degrees and certificates. And students come in and we kind of introduce them to a broad array of topics, and then they start kind of self-selecting what they want to go into. Sometimes it's based on what they're interested in, sometimes it's what they're good at, but hopefully in the end it will lead to a career.
And that is one thing I've noticed in doing this program the past few months, is that is something that QCC, not only in the computer sciences, but all the other various disciplines, you guys specialize in helping people find a path or find out what they're passionate about. Even if you come into the school not really sure what you want to do or where you want to be, you're very good at kind of guiding folks to make decisions as far as their path and career, which is terrific.
Well, I think that so many times that people have not been exposed to all of these different opportunities, and they just take some need some exposure to those topics in order to be able to choose. It's one of the reasons why we do so much K-12 outreach programming, out of the STEM program areas, is that we want students at an earlier age to start thinking about this in the Worcester Public Schools and, see some different opportunities and have a longer period of time to learn about those opportunities and then, hopefully guide them down some career path to success.
We're chatting with Betty Lauer, the program coordinator of the Computer Systems Engineering Technology and Computer Information Systems here at QCC. And you mentioned something about CyberPatriots. I want to find out more about that when we return. We're going to take a quick break, and we shall return with QCC's Face the Region here on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN. Welcome back once again. You're listening to QCC's Face the Region here on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN. Every week, we focus in on one aspect of the great career and educational opportunities that Quinsigamond Community College provides, not only in their campus here in Worcester, but their various other satellite campuses as well. We're chatting with Betty Lauer, the program coordinator of the Computer Systems Engineering Technology and Computer Information Systems. Betty, you mentioned earlier that you, number one, you're really focusing in on the K-12 kids, getting them at an early age. You mentioned something about the CyberPatriots. Is that something in the Worcester school systems you're doing?
Yes, this is something that we started just last year. And we started it in part because we developed this new cybersecurity degree, and we wanted to, kind of build a pipeline of opportunities for students in the Worcester Public Schools to become aware and interested of this potential career. And one of the things that we did is that we started participating in an Air Force program called CyberPatriots. And what CyberPatriots is all about is teaching students in middle and high school how to harden computer networks.
In other words, tighten up the security of computer networks.
Yes, and this is very technical for middle and high school students. And, I was a little leery about whether we could, in an after-school program, teach high school students how to, tighten up the security on operating systems and on workstations and servers, different operating systems, and even routers, if you know what that is.
Sure.
But it's highly technical, and I was skeptical if we would be able to teach students at that age how to do that. But we certainly did. In this last year, all of the Worcester Public High Schools participated in the CyberPatriots program, and our Claremont Academy High School won first place in the state in the open division, which is pretty impressive. So, the way the CyberPatriots program worked is that they had small teams of just a few students on each team. The schools had multiple teams in some places, but just a few students that would work together. They would be given some kind of guided learning online, and here at QCC from our students. Some of our students helped the teachers in the Worcester Public Schools prepare these students, and then throughout the year there were these Air Force guided challenges that you would show up on a Saturday for, and you would have like 6 hours to meet these 20 different goals. and whoever scored the highest, gets to move on. So we were very excited that Claremont Academy, after just a year of participation, they were able to accomplish so much. But so did our other teams. Our Worcester Technical High School team got moved up to like the gold division category because of their expertise. And of course, they learned some of those highly technical skills, IT skills, in their high school courses.
Now again, so the U.S. government's interest in getting these kids involved in this program is obviously,
We need some cyber security professionals out there all over in the federal government, in our private businesses. We need students of all age. We need citizens of all ages here in the United States to be aware of security and good security practices. And, hopefully some of these students will go on and decide to do some security careers, which are incredible careers these days. They pay very well. They're high in demand. Federal government, their interest is that they can't find enough people to apply for jobs when they open up a job. And so, this is part of, why they're doing this, trying to develop that next generation of civil servants in their case, but professionals really across the board. Yet the whole idea of learning through competition, which is what the robotics does, but security, there's lots of different security competitions. The CyberPatriots is just one of them. This next year, we're going to bring that to the Worcester Public Middle Schools and increase that. But we also have a cybersecurity club here at QCC, and they participated in the Interrupt competition this year at WPI.
Wow, and just in taking part in these competitions, it just raises the amount of awareness. Like sitting here talking with you, I'm thinking, wow, I didn't realize there was such a need for it. But I guess it's really severe.
Well, there is certainly a severe need for security professionals. I mean, every day in our news we see all sorts of issues related to security. I mean, whether it's hacking into a credit card company, whether it's government to government, cyber hacking, or
the Russians
whatever.
having something to do with the election? Oh, I see. Yes,
absolutely, okay. And that's the government's interest, but it should be all of our interests.
Sure.
And the competition part just kind of gets the students excited
raises
about
their game. Yeah.
Yes, it raises their game, and it is a game, and it's something that they can really grab onto and have fun with.
And apply as a career later on.
Yes.
Wow.
Some of the college level competitions in security give like $1 million for the winning team. It's incredible. I mean, this is learning in the future, and competition learning is a big thing.
And Betty, you're right in the thick of it here at QCC. If we have interested folks listening, and not necessarily just young people, I mean people who are perhaps thinking of a career change, what would you recommend to them if they were interested in getting involved in some of the programs? How would they go about finding out more?
Well, to start with, I always think that you should do a little bit of research on careers. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics Occupational Outlook Handbook is a really good place to start. It tells you what different careers pay. It tells you what the demand for those careers are. I always think that understanding careers that you're interested in is a big part of that. And of course, then you can come to QCC and you can, you could go online and look at our college catalog, for example, or you could contact one of the program coordinators directly and talk to them about careers and program offerings. But the college catalog is a good place to start. You can go through the college catalog, see all of our different degrees and what the outcomes of those degrees are, different degrees, different certificates, and it always has contact information for like program coordinators who can answer more questions for you. And of course, our admissions office is always waiting for calls as well.
There you go. Betty Lauer, thanks so much for spending some time with us, and continued success, especially reaching to the young kids and some of the inner city kids for, and providing opportunities like that to get started. And who knows? The sky's the limit as far as a career is concerned.
That's right. The sky is the limit.
That'll do it for this week's edition of Face the Region here on Full Service Radio AM 830 WCRN. I'm Zip Zipfel. Have a great week. We will talk to you next time.
This has been Quinsigamond Community College's Face the Region. Join us again next weekend on AM 830 WCRN.